Perhaps the most graphic display of the salmon's incredible homing instinct and sense of smell came to light at the Prairie Creek Fish Hatchery in the Northern California community of Orick. It was here that an unexpected discovery revealed a migration journey almost beyond belief. On the morning of December 2nd, 1964, a 2-year-old male coho salmon was found swimming among hundreds of juvenile fish in one of the hatchery's 5 concrete rearing ponds. Closer examination revealed that the back fin of this unexpected visitor had been clipped with the distinctive identification mark of the Prairie Creek facility, a mark carried only by fish raised in this pond and released to the sea the year before. The dislodged wire screen used to cover the pond's drain box provided an obvious but improbable explanation to the puzzling scene. Perhaps the fish, in an attempt to reach its home water, had entered through the maze of pipes in the hatchery's drainage system. Apart from a hoax, it was the only logical conclusion to be drawn. Yet a look at the route the fish would have taken defied all logic. Like all salmon released from the Prairie Creek hatchery, the fish would have returned from its time at sea here at the confluence of the Pacific Ocean and Redwood Creek. Traveling upstream with the other survivors from its brood year, the migration route would lead 3 miles to the junction of Redwood and Prairie Creeks. Faced with a choice, the fish would pick up the scent of its home water and continue north. A mile and a half later, at this point, where the waters of Prairie and Lost Man Creek merge, a similar but more difficult decision must be made. Pausing here, the salmon picked up 2 familiar signals. The previous year, it had been released behind the hatchery in Lost Man Creek. Yet instead of retracing its path back to where its journey began, it chose to resume its northbound course. The reason for this unusual action could be found near the highway, 100 yards to the east. Well water, draining directly from the hatchery pond where the fish had been raised, trickled out through a culvert under U.S. Highway 101. Normally, this water would be absorbed by the porous ground before reaching Prairie Creek. But heavy rains that winter had created a small channel that carried the signal home all the way to the determined scent. Following the familiar scent, the fish would leave the creek to enter the shallow rivulet, only about 9 inches deep. Then swim through dense vegetation to the opening of the culvert. Home was near, yet the difficulties to be encountered had only begun. After crossing under the highway, the fish would enter this storm sewer. Its final glimpse of daylight would illuminate a jump into this 12-inch pipe. Then, in the darkness, the salmon would swim under the hatchery parking lot directly toward its final destination, only to meet a hopeless dead end. Under these walkway boards, less than 10 feet from the rearing pond, the fish would find itself trapped in a concrete flume. Yet spurred on by the overpowering scent of well water that poured in around it, the exhausted traveler refused to give up. Searching for an escape, it would locate the opening of a 4-inch drain pipe. Then, squeezing its body inside, would ram its way through, until again being stopped, this time by a 90-degree upward bend in the pipe. Drawing upon its final reserves of power and will, the fish would make the turn to be faced once more with an overwhelming obstacle. The remaining 3.5 feet of standpipe was covered with a framed screen weighing 8 pounds, nearly 5 times more than the fish itself. As the battered fish swam among the juvenile salmon on that memorable December morning, doubts and questions about its journey filled the air like heavy mist. Finally, the decision was made to lift the boards covering the drainage flume. And moments later, speculation gave way to awe and wonder. 72 coho salmon, all bearing the fin clip of the Prairie Creek hatchery, were trapped within the flume. Each had battled alongside its indomitable companion to make all but the final leap back to the pond where life began.